You've got to be disciplined. It's the same thing day in and day out, and you got to be willing to work for it. Nobody's going to give it to you. It's Tuesday morning. I've got a lot going on today. I've got a lot of projects I need to finish in the office. I've got an appointment about 30 minutes away at lunchtime. I've got another appointment back in town this afternoon. I've got to get prepared to leave tomorrow morning about 6 a.m. to go to Baltimore. I'll work the rest of the week, Wednesday through Friday in Baltimore, then fly back home for the weekend. I've got 2 companies I'm consulting with in Baltimore. I'll have, 13, 14-hour days. So it's a super busy week. So I was in the midst of getting my license and renting planes like most everybody does. Busy running a business in another part of North Carolina, and came to the point where I could not find a plane when it fit my schedule. So when the instructor said, well, you should just buy your own plane, he said it as a joke. Well, I kind of took it seriously. I started looking online, and everywhere I looked for a Cessna, I see the word Van Bortel.
What are the things you look for when you do business with someone, or a company or whatever, a vendor?
For me, it comes down to trust and the relationship. I don't want to do business with somebody that I feel like I can't reach back out to. Whether it's a car or a boat or a plane. If I have a question or an issue after the fact, I want to know that there's somebody I can physically contact. I don't want to feel like I'm just a number. I don't want to go through 3 different people to get the answer. Like I want to pick up the phone. I want to call somebody. I want to talk to them.
God, how beautiful this plane is. And I tell you, it's an amazing aircraft. It definitely helps me able to do the things I do. I mean, an hour, 20 minutes to Baltimore. Was 200 knots. 16 gallons an hour.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to complain with that.
Beat that.
No, definitely not.
It's hard to believe it was 30 years ago, right out on that ramp where I took my first flight. 100% caught the aviation bug, and I knew that one day I wanted to fly. I waited and waited and waited until financially I was able, but I could dedicate the time to be able to get my license and, of course, own my own plane. I'll never forget all of those years on my written goals. Number 1, to be a pilot. Number 2, to own a plane. And it's still just hard to believe all these years later that I'm able to do something that I dreamed of for so long. Not only did I buy my first plane from Van Bortel, that plane got me through, getting my license. But now I've owned 5. And so I had 2 182s and 3 Columbias. And it's been a phenomenal experience ever since. The staff at Van Bortel, there's people there that have flown thousands of hours in Columbias. And so the knowledge base there is just, there's nobody in the country that compares to it. And so any question I have about the Columbia, whether it's flying, whether it's maintenance, whether it's, whatever it may be, they know the answers. I realized early on that, again, being as efficient as possible is a key to success. And the only way that I can do the things that I do is out of the county that I live in. And so I realized early on that aviation was the key to my success in being able to get out and get farther away in areas where I'm able to do what I do. It's all about service. Hands down, service is where it's at. It doesn't matter if I have a question about the plane. It doesn't matter if I have a need for a part. If I have a question about operating the plane, they have somebody on staff that is an expert in just about every single area. It's all about service, customer service, 100%. So starting in a 182, there's 182 is a great platform to fly in. And a 182 turbo, where I started, is fairly a fast plane. Moving into Columbia, it was like going from a Ford Mustang to a Lamborghini. I mean, it was really night and day difference. I'll never forget the first time taking off and pulling back on that stick, and just the performance of that plane, how fast it climbed, how smooth, how comfortable it was. I would hands down recommend Van Bortel to anybody in the market for an airplane.
And you do?
And I do. I think I've had probably 3 or 4 referrals by now, that folks that have actually bought planes, and folks that were similar to me, being new in aviation. And so they needed to find somebody that they could trust. For me, it's if I'm going to make a referral, it's got to be somebody that I can stand behind. My reputation to my friends and my network's important. So if I share a referral, it's got to be somebody that I stand behind. And Van Bortel's never let me down. For me, I don't know where I'd go from here. The next step up would be something obviously I always want something faster. I think everybody does. But at the end of the day, I trust their recommendation because they've got me this far safely. I've made the right decisions because of their advice. They stand behind their product. And honestly, I don't know of another dealer in the country, regardless, that would ever do what they do and take care of their customers like they take care of them. So for me, I don't know where else I would go unless it's a product that they offer.